Okay, so what we're looking at here in the backyard is some of the chairs that I've gone through to get to this point with that Oztent chair that I've just given you a look at. So what you can see in front of you is a number of different chairs that I have currently, which is a small sample of the chairs that I've actually gone through to get to this stage where I'm at the moment. All of these kind of serve a bit of a purpose, with the exception of the one right at the back there. This is the first one. This is an Oztrail. This is a really popular chair amongst camp friends, and there's a good reason for that, other than the fact that it's really big. This is not a bad caravan chair, so you can actually throw these under your caravan bed, so they do pack up kind of flat, as you can see, but they are fairly large and they are reasonably heavy. A good sort of campfire chair. They're even better sort of summer chair. Even better thing about these is they recline, so I don't know about you, but on a summer day or even a cooler winter day like today with that sun on you, you can quite easily sleep in these. So if you've gone camping and you've forgotten your tent, but you've got one of these with you and you don't need to worry about bugs, these are bloody perfect. So I tend to find at camp, everybody, when I take these along, everybody comes up and sits in these. This one itself is an Oztrail, which is probably a little bit lower quality than the Oztent stuff. They're still pretty good. This is on the cheaper end of the spectrum. There's plenty of these. You're going to see heaps of these on Gumtree, all that sort of stuff. So if you keep an eye on Gumtree, you can pick them up for around about $50 a piece, and quite often they'll come in pairs, because what you find is that the caravan guys have gone out and bought a set of these because they're super comfortable, and obviously, you know, you can lay back in them. They're great for setting up under your awning or something like that, but they take up a lot of space, and as people get older, they find that they're just too heavy and just too big to maneuver. So you'll always find these popping up on Gumtree. Don't spend any more than about $50-$60, I suppose. I got the two of them for about $90, but you know, $50-$60 is what I say these come up for individually. And like I said, you'll often see them come up in a matching set or something like that, because the caravanners who are, you know, getting on in years find that it's too big to manage. You can get a little clip-on table, which I have, that just slots on the side there, so you can put drinks and all that sort of stuff on it. Just to give you a bit of an idea on each of the chairs and how they actually pack up, we'll just go left to right, I guess, from largest to smallest. So this is our Oztrail, that's the layback unit. It does say Oztrail Sun Lounge Classic, so that's the model. You can get those in like a mesh, different brand stuff like that, all different colours, pinks, purples, if that's your thing. Our Oztent Kokoda there. This is the Oztrail, sort of a standard type camp chair. It does say that is the Monarch footrest. Now you can get the Monarch without the footrest. Probably my recommendation would be not to get the Monarch at all. Nice enough chair, but we'll have a look at that in a minute. That's just a standard camp chair, you know, $15-$20, any sort of camp shop, Woolworths, Coles. I think I got that one at Woolworths originally, I think that $20. And that's got to be at least 20 years old, that one. That one's lasting really well. That's actually a little bit thicker material and a bit better made than some of the other ones that I've had that have passed on over the years. Ripped, torn, broken, whatever. That one has been with me for over 20 years and just seems to last. So I really like that chair. That's a little Oztrail compact jumbo chair. Bit of a oxymoron there, but there's a compact light jumbo chair. Like that, picked those up off Gumtree, again cheap. I think I got two for $30. I've been spying these all over the place. Different brands, they come up at Aldi and that sort of stuff. I always wanted one of these, but they're not quite what I thought they were. And this, of course, is just like a little three-legged seat that, you know, like camp fishing type chair that you can pack up and throw in your backpack. So I got that for actually backpack camping, to have a chair. From biggest to smallest, I'm going to give you a look at each of these. And there's our Oztent bifold table that I picked up not long ago as well. Again, most of the stuff I tend to pick up off Gumtree, get it for good prices, and people tend to look after their stuff. Setup perspective. This is our camp lounge, what is it? The Sun Lounge Classic. So just fold her out, give the leg a bit of a kick, sit down, and you're good to go. So that's like a couple of minutes. Again, the biggest challenge with this chair isn't setting it up, it's actually having space to put it and then actually having to move it around. They are quite heavy, these. Still like that chair. We've got an adjustable headrest, and it also goes down to be a lumbar rest if that's what you want. Makes it really good for snoozing on this thing. When you put it in its laid back position, you've got a couple of locks on either side that you can just push down, and that'll just apply attention to that sliding mechanism, and that holds you in that laid back position. So quite secure, quite safe. Again, everybody jumps in this one when I go camping. Oztent King Kokoda. which is now my favourite chair. Not just because it's new, but because it's so bloody comfortable. You can see, size-wise, that's how she carts. So it is going to take up quite a bit of space, even in packed up mode. I really like the fact that it comes with a bag though. I'm still getting used to setting this one up, but you pop these levers up, pull it from the front, there like that. Push down at the front, push at the back. 1 and 2. And she's set up. I always look forward to sitting to this. Yeah, I just like that. It's a really nice chair, really comfortable. I think here we go. Yep. Okay. So that's the Oztent King Kokoda, the newbie, looking like a chair shop here. Oztrail Monarch. Now I bought this quite a few years ago, and to be honest, it hasn't really seen the light of day too much. It's been out on a few camps, but I've just never quite gotten along with it. You'll see here, this is the size of it packed down, so it is quite a large package. This is my old standard camp chair, and obviously that comes with a little bag as well, which I've since lost. But you can see it's quite a bit bigger than that. And ultimately, they're basically the same chair. So what I'm saying is this offers me no real benefit over this one. Certainly for the price, I think I paid around about the $90 for this one. It offers me no real benefits over the old standard, $20 camp chair, but it's a lot larger, and frankly it's a bit of a pain to get back in this bag, but we'll set her up and we'll give you a look anyway. Obviously the quality's a lot better, the materials are a lot thicker, it's more padded, all that sort of stuff, but frankly I'm quite as comfortable in the cheapie over there as I am in this one. Now, it sets up the same as all your others. Open them up, and there we go. It's quite a deep chair, so this would be a good chair for a bigger person. If you find those King Kokodas are too small for you, this would be a good chair. Yeah, see, it's a bit more laid back. It does have its cooler arms, so insulated pocket on that side, and it does have like just a sort of a cup holder on that side. Little pockets on the side there as well, which are pretty nifty. Pretty much similar to what we've got on the Oztent one. As it comes with this little foot rest, I guess. We'll just put that on. Now, as you can see, this hardly ever goes on because it's a bit of a nuisance. So you can see it comes with a footrest as per the bag, but this is where the issue starts, and this is why this thing is hardly ever connected, because as soon as you want to go up to your chair to sit on it, you start having to do this sort of business. It is, I guess, reasonably comfortable to be able to put your feet up there. This might be good for taking to the sports field or something like that, but people, providing you're not packed in, it's not a paid event where you're paying for space and seats, because people might get annoyed with you kicking your legs out like this. But when you're camping, this can't really work as a table. It would be okay if it was a bit stiffer and you could actually use it as a table. It might come in handy. But the problem is, if you're sitting at a campfire, this sits too far out. And what you find is you're always sort of pulling it back or trying to get it out of the way, or literally just taking it off, disconnecting it all together. It's not what I would call a good camp chair. So if I have a recommendation, if you're going to go for the chair and you find the chair comfortable, don't get the footrest. It's just, I think, just in general, a waste of time. And as you can see, it makes it more difficult for the dog to get to you. When you want to sit forward, you always have to throw the legs out wide. It comes off and it makes it even harder to get back in the bag. So to this one, I say no. All right, coming back to, old reliable, $20 camp chair. Lasted forever. Not super comfortable. And with this, I do get the ridge along the back of my legs there, being a shorter person. Little cup holder, which is just mesh, really nothing to this one. Some slight adjustment there with tension for this back piece, but beyond that, it is what it is. I think everybody's got a couple of these in the cupboard. So we've got 3 Oztrail chairs here. I've obviously got the camper build in the back of the car, and I was looking to get a bunch of stuff that I could carry in the car that was just always going to be there. One of the things was a table, which I've got a number of, and we'll go through all of those at some point. Another thing was a chair. Now that little black camp chair that I just showed you, that stays in there permanently, 100%, and this is sort of my backup chair. It's not quite as light as I thought it was going to be, about 3 kilos. I reckon it's probably heavier than that. And great little chair. People quite like this one as well. It is surprisingly comfortable for what it is, but it's quite heavy, but it packs up small. So for a car type environment, car camping, this is a good option. It does look like an octopus when you first pull it out, but as you can see, all of these just pop into their holes, just like that. Now these poles are very solid. I've seen ones of these that I think are like an aluminium. I'm not entirely sure, and I would like to try one of those. You know, just check it from a weight perspective. Okay, so that's the frame of the chair there. And then you just take your, I guess, material, which is a quite solid material. There's little loops on the back that you just hook over the edges of the poles. Just like that. And on the back, there's a little loop. Pull that one on there. And obviously the last one is the hardest because you're putting a bit of tension on it. But again, you got these little finger loops that you can use. Just pull her out, hook her on. That's her. But quite a good little chair, and a lot more solid than you think it's going to be, and a lot more stable, really. I've had a number of people come up and look at it and go, oh no, I'm not sitting in that. And then they sit in it and they go, hey, yeah, that's all right. And I've got to tell you, for just a portable little, you know, 2.5 kilo supposedly, camp chair, it's quite good. It's not going to make a real good beach chair or something like that because the legs on it are just going to dig in. But for taking to the field, throwing in the back of the car, throwing under the seat of the car, throwing in the caravan, if you're happy to be this low, the dog actually quite likes this one because it puts me a lot lower to the ground. So if I'm somewhere camping and it's just me and him, this is a chair that I'll go to because it puts me down at his level. We can hang out. I've got to put my drinks and everything on the ground. That's usually not too much of a problem. But it's a good fire chair, this one. And it's nice and comfortable and relaxed, and you can lean back in it and get comfortable. Hey, dog! And right on cue. Come on, bud. There we go. So you can see it's easy for him to jump up, easy enough for him to get to me, rather than just standing up on the chair. And we're down sort of at his height, aren't we? And when he's not burping, it's a good dog cuddle chair. So if you're going to take something to the dog park, this might be a good one. No flash features or anything like that. This one is just a chair. The main point of this chair is it packs up nice and small. But you're going to have to put it together. It's a little bit fiddly, and it's even more fiddly to get back in the bag. And again, this is one of those things that I thought was a must-have. I think these were about $5 or $6 just from the average camping shop. These are, I think everybody's had one of these. Just literally drop it on the ground, make sure you got the legs spread out, and there you go. So not the most comfortable thing because your boys get in the way. This one goes with me if I'm going kayak camping or kayak fishing or something along those lines, and space is at an absolute premium. I can fit this in the hatch on either of my kayaks over the back there, and it basically takes up no space. The only problem is they're not super reliable because I have broken a couple of these over the years. Because they are so cheap, I think they tend to use cheap materials. This is just aluminium, and you can see these screws, they tend to fall out, and then obviously you're no longer holding on that leg, and then the thing's rat shit and might as well throw it out, which I have done. But it packs up nice and small. As you can see, a little bit of Velcro around the top. So this is something that I'll take backpacking or hiking. If weight is an issue, this is a little one that goes with me. Tend not to do a lot of sitting anyway, and I also do have just like a sit pad as well. Almost forgotten I had that, but I've thrown that in the caravan, and when I was going to grab all my chairs, I thought, oh, I'll pull that one out as well. The setup time on this one is minimal. Just undo the Velcro, spread her out, sit your bum down. There's going to be a weight limit on this. I'm not sure what that would be. It doesn't say on there because it says it was made in China. There's a surprise, but I'd suggest the weight limit on it isn't much. I'd say it'd be under 100 kilos. And you're probably wondering why I have so many chairs, because I only have one arse. Camp hiking chair, or if I'm going kayak camping where weight is an issue, that one goes with me. That's a backup that goes into the car along with that little one over there. That one, I just always wanted one of those, saw them, thought they were pretty fancy, hard to pack up, but only about 2.5 kilo, packs down really small. Standard camp chair, everybody's got one of these. Oztrail Monarch with footrest. My only recommendation of the lot of the one not to get, not overly comfortable. Materials are all good, but that footrest just gets in the way all the time. You'll find you end up don't using that, and it just packs up really big when you can be sitting in that instead, having the same experience. The Oztrail Sun Lounge Classic. Excellent chair, providing you've got the space to pack them. Under a caravan bed is an excellent thing because they pack down nice and flat, but they are heavy. If you're a little bit older and you struggle with lifting a little bit of weight, these are not the one for you. Ones with mesh material in the center, maybe a little bit lighter, but there's a lot of framework here, and they just obviously gain weight. Fantastic summer chair or lounging chair at home even, for just putting out and having a bit of a snooze. And of course, here's my new favourite and my newest chair, the Oztent King Kokoda chair. Super comfortable. It's going to be nice and warm in winter. Bit disappointed that it doesn't have a table. I'm not a, I guess, fan favourite of any of these chairs in particular. I do have a lot of Oztrail stuff, I've just noticed, but that's not for a particular reason other than it tends to be at the right price and you tend to get a good quality sort of item for the price you pay. A lot of this stuff has come off Gumtree secondhand. Gumtree secondhand, I think I got it 2 for about 30 bucks. That one I bought new years ago. That was new, around about $80 to $90. 2 of those off Gumtree. I think it was 2 for 90 bucks, I think. Obviously that one's new. That's the most expensive chair I paid, 99 bucks for that one. I've also got the Oztent bifold table down here. I like to have things in the car and I was looking for something that would fit into the camper build, and this popped up on Gumtree and I thought, yep, that's a nice and small package, so I'll grab that. Turns out it's quite heavy and not actually what I was after. So I ended up just with a Bunnings table, one of those little lightweight blow molded things that now stays in the back of the car and takes up bugger all space. So this has been tossed out, but this is an excellent little table. Very similar sort of material that's on the chair itself. As I said, this was picked up second hand, so it's not in perfect condition, but it's it is in used condition. And there is a bit of a process to getting this one set up, as you can see. As with any of these folding chairs, there's always a chance of grabbing some grass. And I think the thing I like about this is that it's got this low configuration, which is perfect for a round camp and sort of putting beside your tables, just like this. It's nice and low, or you can throw the additional legs on the bottom if you want to raise it up a little bit, but they're a bit of a pain in the backside. No real reason to do it. So there we go. So there's our Oztent setup with our Oztent bifold table. And our Oztent King Kokoda chair, which again is really comfortable. I quite like this. A little bit of rain right now to be nice, just a little bit of a sprinkle. This table again is really well made as well. Just folds out nice. It's sort of an aluminium finish on the top. It's actually timber, so it's relatively lightweight, but it does have this aluminium finish on top, so you could cook on it. Put your cooker on there if you needed to, something like that. So that's it, guys. Thanks very much for stopping by. Hopefully you've enjoyed the little bit of a review of all the different chairs that I got here and how I come to this chair that I'm sitting in right now, the King Kokoda from Oztent, and why I like it so much, and I guess the benefits and pitfalls of the other chairs that I've got over there, so you don't make the same mistakes, or do make the same mistakes. Who cares? It's your life. So there you go. So real happy with this chair. Can't wait to get out camping and use it a bit more often. I've never been so happy to sit. I'm gonna pack all this shit up now. So that's it, guys. Thanks very much for stopping by. That's all the chairs that are currently in my stable, basically the shed. But right now, this is what I'm in love with. Can't wait to get it out camping, spend a bit of time on my backside in it. Albeit I don't like to do too much of that when I'm camping. I like to get out and enjoy and hike and drive and take the dog for a walk. But anyway, I'm going to be spending a bit of time in this. Looking forward to it. Thanks very much for stopping by. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.